Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Brian, and in today's video, we're gonna go over how to get rid of that nagging, annoying shoulder blade pain that's right on the inside of your shoulder blade. So what you're gonna need today is a foam roller and just your body weight, so let's get ready to move. All right, so everyone, today we're gonna get into some tissue work, we're gonna get into some activation drills to get rid of that nagging, annoying pain that gets onto the inside of your shoulder blade, right into that rhomboid middle trap area. And contrary to what you might think, the reason why that happens is not because of those rhomboid muscles constantly being the source of the problem, but actually more of the lat. So that's what we're going to really focus on, is getting into some of that tissue work, and we're going to go through a couple of movements that you should do in succession to make sure that you're getting the best outcome possible and getting that pain to not only go away temporarily, but give you long-lasting results. So make sure you check out all three of these exercises and do them along with me. So the first movement we're gonna do is we're gonna actually foam roll the lats. And we're not just foam rolling, we're gonna do what I call a pin and stretch technique. So what we're doing for this is you're gonna lay onto your side, and we're gonna start about mid-level, about chest level, and we're gonna find a nice tender spot on that lat. So I'm just kind of rolling around until I find that muscle, that lat muscle, which is right on our side. And then from there, I'm gonna keep my palm up, and then I'm just gonna simply press overhead while my palm stays up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna do about 5 of these, and what we're looking to do is just try to get through as much range of motion as we can. This is called a pin and stretch technique. After I do about 5, I'm gonna find 2 more spots, working my way up towards the armpit. You can see that I'm kind of rocking back and forth till I find where it's slightly uncomfortable. And as I go overhead, I should get to a point where I feel that restriction in that lat muscle. So I'm gonna do one more rep. And what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter what side you start with, we're gonna do both, but we wanna find 3 spots that are in that kind of tender, restrictive range. And the higher you go, the more restriction you're gonna feel, but the more relief you're gonna get at the same time. So make sure that you really try to work that overhead position as much as you can on each of these reps. So after you do the right side, we're gonna go ahead and do that left side. Even though you might have symptoms just on one side, it's always good to do both. Just, if nothing else, you have 2 arms, so you might as well get into both of them. And it also gives you some information about what's happening with your body. You might find one side is a little bit harder than the other, or one is more restrictive or more tender than the other. It gives you information about what your workouts are doing, what your training, what your activities are doing to your body and to your mechanics. So same thing on this side. I'm finding 3 spots, 5 presses on each, keeping my palm up towards the ceiling on each of these motions. Now I'm gonna get into that third one, and that third one should really kind of be right underneath that armpit. That's the one that should be most restrictive. And you should really have to get some work in to get to that overhead position. Again, this is gonna be tender as you do this, but it's going to help create some of that relief. If you feel any popping or clicking in your shoulder while you do this, that's okay. So after you've done each side, now we wanna do, now that we've turned off those lat muscles, is we wanna get some activation back to our rotator cuff and scapular stabilizer. So we're simply just gonna do arms next to our side, and we're gonna do this for about 30 seconds of just rotation. You can do this in standing or sitting too. I'll just do this in kneeling for the time being, but I'm just trying to push my shoulder blades down towards my butt. I'm not pushing them together, just gentle push down, arms pinned, and just rotating my hands as far as I can go without this chicken wing effect. So we're gonna do about 30 seconds of this, just trying to get through as much of that range and get as much tension to your shoulder blades as you can. So you should not feel this on the inside of your shoulder blades. You should feel this more towards the, over top of the shoulder blades, and even a little bit towards, slightly towards the outside. We don't want to feel it completely on the outside, but kind of in that middle. If you have outside, middle, inside, that middle lane is what we're looking for. Just keep those arms pinned to your side. If you got to take a break, that's fine. I'm keeping that tension, or I'm keeping my shoulder blades pushed down the entire time as I do this. We'll just do 2 more reps. I'm just, again, evaluating what side goes further. My right side goes a little bit further than my left. So am I losing some of that strength or some of that range of motion on that left that may be contributing to the symptoms? All information to intake as you're going through this. After we go through that rotation drill, now we're going to take that rotation to a press. So the rule with this, super simple, just 2 rules, is I'm just, again, pushing shoulder blades down. I'm going to rotate and I'm keeping my thumbs backwards as I just press overhead and return. And we're going to do that again for another 30 seconds. So shoulder blades down, rotate, and press. And again, you can do this in standing, you can do this in sitting. It does not matter, or kneeling. I'm just doing kneeling for this purpose. So just shoulder blades down, rotation, and press. As you do this, you want to make sure that tension, the majority of that tension, stays in your shoulder blades. So that's why your thumbs have to stay backwards. You don't want your thumbs to go this way and chicken wing or let those elbows out. Shoulder blades down, rotate, drive those hands up, thumbs stay backwards. We're going to do about 2 more reps of this, shoulder blades down. And this is where you should really feel all that tension in your shoulder blades. If you don't, let your hands go forward a little bit more, and that should help get that tension where it's supposed to be. Now that we have that tension, just kind of take inventory of what you feel. Your shoulder blades, the whole backside of your shoulder complex should feel a little bit more relaxed. Should feel like I have a little bit more freedom, range of motion of my shoulders, and it shouldn't feel like it aches as much. If it doesn't, that's great. That's where, if it is giving you some improvement, then you go through this again, watch the video again, and go through these 3 movements. They're really powerful in getting that tension off of that inside of that shoulder blade by getting that stress away from the lat that is the majority or the major cause for that tension. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button while you're at it. I appreciate you guys for watching, and thank you for making movement mandatory.